Good morning, Miss McNees. This is Judge Middleton. If you give me just a minute, we'll get situated here.
Okay.
This is 241278 FY, People versus Danielle McNees. It is a beautiful morning. We're going to switch from our civil case to some criminal cases. With the assistance of Mr. Stickley, we're going to do an arraignment here. This is a bench warrant arraignment for failing to appear for a sentence in the matter of People versus Danielle Marie McNees. Is that you?
Yes, I'm sorry, it is.
All right. Your lawyer was Mr. Luke Nofsinger. I tried to see if I could get his help this morning, but he wasn't scheduled to be here. So here with us is the Chief Public Defender, Mr. Keith Stickley. You're originally charged with possession of methamphetamine as a felony. The case started in front of Judge Pattison, and then somehow it got put in front of me. You entered a plea to that charge, and we set the sentence for August 11th of 2025, and you didn't show up. So we waited a few days, and then we issued a bench warrant for your arrest. We also did a notice to forfeit your bond with the bonding company, but they usually don't do anything about it. How did you come to get arrested this weekend?
I was at Walmart,
In what town?
Kalamazoo. I've been in jail for like 10 days now. I was in Kalamazoo on hold for St. Joe to come and get me for like 6, 7 days.
She might have a pending charge there, Your Honor. I'm not exactly sure yet.
Do you have a charge in Kalamazoo?
I'll have a court hearing. I should get paperwork.
All right. I tried to find a time that your lawyer was going to be here, and I couldn't find one. So I'm going to cancel your bond. You don't have a presumption of innocence. You've entered a plea, and then you didn't appear for sentence. Were you in jail in August in Kalamazoo?
I had 3 rides set up and they all fell through on me.
All right. Do you still live at Edward Street?
I do right now, but I possibly am getting an apartment, and I was supposed to start a job this week.
Excuse me, where is that?
I was gonna start cleaning houses with for my friend Scott Strickland.
I have a Matthew Strickland in jail, but not a Scott Strickland. I don't know exactly when I'm going to do this sentence. I want to talk to Mr. Nofsinger. So your bond is canceled. We'll coordinate a sentencing date.
Is it possible to just do my sentencing date right now? I've been in and out of the hospital, and I got a week to get the stint taken out. I just
No.
in the hospital last night. The jail had to take me to the hospital.
I'm gonna work on it. Do you have a doctor's appointment?
They told me that I need to get the stint taken out within 1 week. I've got a urinary tract infection. They prescribed me antibiotics and stuff.
The stent is in your heart?
No, the stent is in my kidney. It goes from my kidney all the way down my urethra.
All right. The sheriff probably wants you out of there. I was gonna use the date of October 3rd, but that's quite a ways away, and it's also very busy. So we're gonna call your lawyer and see when he's scheduled to be here and when we can fit this in. I will try to do it this week if I can. So you've been in jail for 10 days with the stent in your kidney?
Yeah. And it's really painful.
I don't doubt it. All right, I'm gonna hold on to you until I can line up your lawyer and, try to do this sentence. Bear in mind, this is a 2024 case. You went AWOL for a while before we got the case back on track. You went AWOL in December of 2024. We didn't catch up with you until last summer. I let you out of jail.
I'm not gonna go AWOL. I gotta get this taken care of. I really gotta get it taken care of. I don't need it to go septic.
All right, I understand. I'll see you when I can coordinate a date with your lawyer. All right, Mr. Stickley, thanks for your help. We'll see what Luke's got. In light of her Kalamazoo charges and medical problems, our jail probably doesn't want her in there. A sentence this morning on Daniel Zering, and he was wanted in a bunch of other counties. And he was in the Allen County Jail in Fort Wayne. Could you contact them and see whether he's in their custody?
Absolutely.
Scheduled for 10:30 this morning is the matter of People versus Daniel Adam Zering. It was a retail fraud in the first degree, reduced to retail fraud in the second degree. Mr. Zering is represented by attorney Paul Gibson. Also present here today is Angelique Camfield from the prosecutor's office. I asked for a pre-sentence investigation report in this case because there was so much going on. Autumn Kiefer did prepare the report for us. And Mr. Zering has all kinds of things going on. He had a Kosciuszko County charge of theft, Elkhart County, Indiana, theft, Allen County, which is Fort Wayne, theft, Huntington County, theft, Kosciuszko County, theft. So he was either on probation or wanted in all of those jurisdictions. In fact, this case came up when the Indiana authorities contacted the Sturgis Walmart authorities and hey, said this guy's been stealing our stuff. So whoops. Good morning. What's your name, sir?
Daniel's a writer.
Oh, very good. Would you come up and have a seat with your lawyer?
Could I talk with them real
Yeah,
quick
certainly.
about the report? Because we didn't have a chance to talk on Friday.
Very good. All right. Laura, the guy just walked in 4 minutes late, but he's not in their jail. Ms. Camfield, did you see the pre-sentence report?
I did, Your Honor.
Hi.
Hi.
Why don't you have a seat up here in the front row? Angelique needs some company. Thank you for this report. It was kind of a not very pleasant assignment, but you helped make us some sense out of it.
Mhm.
Good morning. Would you have a seat on this side over here? Thank you.
I thought I was gonna meet with my attorney first.
We'll make sure that
I
happens.
was trying to change my plea,
All right.
and I didn't know if that was okay.
Well, we'll
I
just,
had a phone contact once, so.
all right. Your lawyer is Mr. Gibson?
Mhm.
Yeah, he's here. He's talking with the client right now. And we'll let you have a chance to do that. So just have a seat. I can tell already we're gonna get backed up. We have Mr. George on the next batch of cases. And maybe things will go better. Miss McKay wants to talk to Mr. Gibson before her sentence. And the record off the live feed is on, the world's most boringest live stream. We'll see whether, all right, why don't you come on up?
Okay, yes, Mr. Zering.
This isn't a good use of our time. You show up late. I sit here like an empty suit for 18 minutes, along with everybody else in here, waiting for you to talk to your lawyer.
I apologize.
And that puts us behind on the next 5 cases, and we've been sitting here staring into space, waiting for you to consult with your lawyer. This should have been done in advance. At any rate, let's address it. Here it is on the bottom. This is the matter of people's Danielle, Adam, Joseph Zering, or Zering, is how you say it?
Zering.
Zering. He's here with his lawyer, Mr. Paul Gibson, also present as Assistant Prosecuting Attorney Angelique Camfield, and Autumn Kiefer, who prepared the pre-sentence investigation report in this matter. Defendant was charged with retail fraud in the first degree. The matter was reduced to a retail fraud second degree. The defendant had so much going on, I referred the matter for a pre-sentence investigation report, and Ms. Kiefer has prepared the report for us. Mr. Gibson, what would you like me to know?
Mr. Zering indicates that he recently started a job at I think it was AIA in Syracuse, Indiana. He indicates, I think he's been there approximately how long?
About a month.
A month. The defendant would like to note that it said in the report that he committed 3 of the offenses in other counties when he was out on bond in this case, but from what I can see, he was arrested on this case in July of this year. And so some of these offenses may have happened after this incident, but I don't believe he had actually been arrested on this incident. So I don't know it would be right to say that he was on bond. But as far as the case goes, the defendant has served lengthy jail or prison sentences in the past. He indicates that after this incident that he's been trying to, get clean and sober, and he's been working on that, and he says he's been doing well. And he indicates that, he was stealing here because he was trying to support a drug habit. And so he's asking this court to consider fines and costs, or if it's a jail sanction, a shorter jail sentence. And Mr. Zering does have court. He says that this can be verified, that he has court tomorrow in one of the Indiana cases. He says it's not the type of court date where he's expected to go to jail afterward. So he's asking if the court does sentence him to a jail term in this case, that he be permitted to check into the jail after he attends his court hearing in Indiana tomorrow. Thank you.
Thank you. Ms. Camfield, what's your thought?
It does appear that there is a period of time from at least April through July of 2024 that entails and encompasses not only our offense, but all of the purported offenses in Indiana as well. I can note that while we were waiting, I did look up the level of offenses for these Indiana charges, and it does appear like several of them are what they call a low severity felony 6 level. So there, I suppose, is a potential that if there's a resolution of some of those cases to a felony offense, he could face pretty lengthy jail or prison in Indiana on those cases. I know the prosecutor down there, if they were all the same county, would probably make a package offer, but unfortunately, they're all different counties. So I'm not sure what he's going to be facing there. I do see throughout the history that was reported in the PSI that by Ms. Kiefer, that there has just been a long going battle with addiction for this defendant. He has gone to prison and abstained from use. Hopefully, things weren't available there, but he claims that he was sober while in prison for these long terms, but then when he got out, started using again. So that is a concern. I'm glad that he is claiming to be sober at this point. And hopefully he's, as the court often says, tired of being tired and addicted. You're always going to have an addiction, but at least you can live a sober life and be productive. He's trying to go towards that, but we still have these offenses from last year that have not been dealt with. I think a jail term as recommended by Ms. Kiefer is appropriate in our county because any probation that would benefit him, I think, would have to be out of one of the Indiana cases where he resides and is working. I just think appropriate supervision would be there in his state of residency rather than here. I suspect driving here this morning is what made him late from Indiana. I think that the recommendation is appropriate. There was over $1,000 stolen here, according to the report. He did state in his pre-sentence that a lot of that was food, but it appears that there were also other items that were not, that he was going to sell to support purchasing drugs. So I think the rec's appropriate and would ask the court to follow it.
Ms. Kiefer, your report kind of stands for itself. You're recommending 30 days in jail. The items that he took were regular stuff: toothpaste, mouthwash, cat food, mattress, and then some things maybe that could be sold. Captain Crunch. Boat accessory light, water. It looked like he's going camping. Stainless steel flask, some other stuff, but mostly food and health and beauty items. Mr. Zering, what's your input here?
I just very regretful for the bad decision I made, and all these other charges I got were all around the same time, and I was just struggling at that time and just made poor decisions. And with the 8 months that I had served due to violating probation in Whitley County due to catching those charges, really let things sink in as with what age I'm at and the decisions I've been making, and just huge amount of regret and remorse for not just what I caused to myself, but for others in my life as well that love me. And I'm just praying that the court considers probation, and I wouldn't have a problem driving up here. I know I was late today and I apologize for that, but a lot of these other counties that I'm going to court for in Indiana are also talking about giving me probation. So I was just hoping that I can get a chance to be on probation and continue working at my job and just continue proving myself to be a productive citizen. That's it.
All right. This was very clever. I don't want to say what you did because I don't want to give other people ideas. I haven't seen this before. You walked in like you owned the place. There's videos of you walking in your champion t-shirt, picking out all this stuff, duping the clerk and walking out with $1,000 worth of stuff. You drove up here to steal. Some of it was, I guess you could have sold it, but some of it was just stuff you need, a mattress, mouthwash, cat food. You just were doing your stealing and you thought you were so smart, you got away with it. And you walked out of there thinking you did get away with it. The other Walmarts connected our Walmart. I don't know if they checked Three Rivers. And there you were, and then you got arrested on this warrant. Well, you're not quite as smart as you thought. I don't want you on probation. You don't live here. You don't work here. I'm not gonna fix it. I'm gonna leave it to those jurisdictions. But this was a felony of some consequence as a habitual. You brought your crime to our community and thought you outsmarted everybody, but I guess you didn't. I'm gonna order 33 days in jail, credit 3, leaving 30 days to serve. The fine is 0. I'm even waiving your attorney fee. There is $1,100 restitution to Walmart.
Can he check
He
himself?
can go to jail right now. I'm not gonna dick around with losing him to the state of Indiana. You earned this. You came up here and poked us in the eye thinking that you were smarter than everybody else, but I guess not. You owe $1,225 by the end of the year. You always may have enough money to post bond. You posted bond in all these jurisdictions, including a $2,500 bond here. I don't think it's likely we're gonna get this money. I think you're gonna end up in jail or prison in one of these counties in Indiana. This scam worked pretty good until it didn't. Do you have a car here?
Yeah,
You have to call somebody.
well, I have a friend out in the door, but he didn't come in, so I need to have somebody let him in.
All right, we'll let him know. You, tell the bailiff where the car is and they'll let the guy know. All right, you're good to go. I don't want to say what he did, but what he did was very clever. Thank you, Autumn. Mr. Gibson, Miss McKay wants to talk to you. What it's worth, she has 14 days jail credit. We have no victim input. And my contemplation was to give her time served. She has discussed the fact that she wants to withdraw her plea and maybe go back to have a felony conviction, but she can speak with you and then we'll take care of Mr. George's cases. Well, Mr. George, you got the next couple. We are actually almost on time. Let's start with Keyshawn Rhodes. This is file number 251111SD. Good morning, sir. All cases are different, but similar. Mr. Rhodes is charged with operating while intoxicated, was reduced to operating while impaired. One of the factors, and I've been commenting on this, we've become desensitized into high blood alcohol levels. It's like, oh, but everyone today is quite drunk. This is a point 197. Off in a ditch out where I drive every day. I think Mr. Friesine did this one and he's still on his trip, but we do have a screening report.
I think this one was Matt.
Oh, Mr. Huff. Is Matt here today? All right,
Usually
maybe
at
he's-
11 o'clock.
all right. Yeah, it is Matt. All right, Mr. George, what would you like me to know?
Well, thank you, Your Honor. I'll start by saying I've got 3 clients today, all for operating on intoxicated cases and a lot of similar situations. So I apologize in advance if I say a lot of similar things. But Mr. Rhodes is still young, not much of a criminal history, if at all. And as the court may remember, this was a situation where he was down here in St. Joe County for a baby shower. There was something that happened there. He tried to get back to Kalamazoo and obviously didn't get all the way back. But as bad as it was, it could have obviously been much worse. And we're very fortunate that Mr. Rhodes is here to talk to the court today, and nobody in the public was hurt. Mr. Rhodes does have gainful employment, so Summit Polymers in Portage. And the baby shower has now produced his second child, and he's excited about, his family continuing to grow. But I think having those children makes him realize, these are the types of situations that he doesn't want to put himself in anymore. And I think he was upfront honest with Matt, told him that, here's the truth, the ugly and all. So I think Matt has done a really nice job at crafting a recommendation. I think it's appropriate based on my client's lack of criminal history, the circumstances that bring him in front of the court, and I think it addresses all the needs. So we ask the court to adopt the recommendation.
Here's Mr. Huff. Ms. Canfield, do you have any input on this one?
Your Honor, I haven't had an opportunity to review the report. If I may have a moment.
All right, well, let's hear from Mr. Huff. I can tell you my concerns on this, several. He was way drunk. He's a regular marijuana vapor, and he's vaping marijuana in addition to this. He's got booze all over in his car. Buzzball, Johnny Bootlegger, Don Julio Tequila, and Fireball are laying all over where his car hit the tree. Plus, he hit a tree. He was going to drive all the way from Sturgis to Kalamazoo in this kind of shape. THC'd out 2.5 times the legal limit. 4:30 in the morning, he hits a tree. He's fortunate he got an offer to impaired driving. This is very irresponsible, immature behavior for someone that has 2 kids. So that's my concern. Bad alcohol, lots of marijuana, all kinds of open booze in his car, and very bad judgment. So those are my concerns. Mr. Huff, you wish to speak to that further?
Yeah, I'd say, just in summary, I think that Mr. Rhodes had a bad night. I think the context matters in this situation. He claims that the alcohol in the vehicle was not from that incident, that he was consuming.
And I'll assume that. But he's driving, it was from some other incident, or he just leaves it all in his car, and then it comes out when he crashes into a tree.
He indicated he had a baby shower earlier that day. There was some alcohol consumption there with family. And then this was a situation where he indicated his intent was to stay in Sturgis. He got into a situation with it where he wasn't getting along with his girlfriend. They were in some sort of an argument. And then, given the fact that he was already severely intoxicated, he made the wrong decision to drive home rather than just to stay back there. So, given his age, I think, well, it doesn't, take away the aggravated circumstances by any means. This is something that is unfortunately relatively common. You get somebody who's in this sort of a situation to make a bad decision, and we're fortunate that things didn't end much worse, where somebody lost their life, either Mr. Rhodes or somebody else. As the court's already stated, this is an opportunity for Mr. Rhodes to look at this situation and learn from it. He has 2 children. He has a girlfriend that he's been with for a significant amount of time, and he's got a good job up in Portage rather. So this is a time, I think, where a probation would be appropriate, even though he's not in our county. I think that a timeout from alcohol or perhaps even marijuana would be good for him, clear his mind and help make some better decisions so that he can get to the next stage of his life. Yeah, you already mentioned the aggravating case factors, so I'm not going to bring those back up, but obviously there were a significant amount of aggravating case facts in this one.
All right. Mr. Rhodes, I'm going to give you the last word, but before we get to you, see if Ms. Camfield has any additional input.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Matt, did you get a driving record? I don't see one in the
I have
file.
a driving record, Your Honor, and I was just going to state that for the court. The history shows probably around a 2022 driving without a license or endorsement, and then a speeding 70 and a 55 at a later date. So no priors, which I suspect is why there was an offer of impaired here, even given the high level of intoxication. I will note the laboratory reports show that not only was he at a 0.197, but he also had marijuana in his system that was still metabolizing, which would indicate to me that he was most likely high as well as intoxicated with the alcohol. So that's, as the court's already stated, and Mr. Hufford, very concerning. I think Mr. George also has recognized that this could have been much worse for his client. We could be here in a different situation. So it's fortunate for his significant other, and his children that he's still here. I frankly think that the deferred jail should be served immediately prior to a probation starting, and it should be scheduled on a weekend so he doesn't lose his employment. But I think he should check into the jail on a Friday night and leave on Monday morning so that he has an idea of what potential penalties could be if he violates his probation, if this court puts him on one and orders no alcohol and marijuana consumption. I think the rest of the recommendation is supported, and we ask that the court follow it.
All right, Mr. Rhodes, you get the last word. What would you like me to know?
Oh, yes, Your Honor. I would just like to say that this entire situation has already been a big wake-up call for me, and I'm very remorseful and grateful, and I fully recognize that I put other people at risk in my life as well. And I just want it to be over, and I'm ready to be better.
I guess can't ask for more than that. I don't want you to put you on a probation to set you up to fail. I don't think you can stop smoking weed, and it's going to be a big difficulty for you to do this probation. I tend to agree with Ms. Camfield. You deserve a jail sentence. There's a presumption, even in drinking driving cases, that there is no jail. That wasn't my idea. That's the state legislature and the Criminal Justice Reform Act. But I've overcome the presumption by your high blood alcohol level, the fact that you were also using marijuana, the fact that you hit a tree, the fact that you're going to drive all the way from Sturgis to Kalamazoo in this kind of shape. And apparently on other occasions, you just drink whatever you're drinking and leave it in your car. No wonder you and your child's mom got in an argument because you were way drunk. I'm going to just order 3 days jail, credit 1, leaving 2 days to serve, which is going to be served on a weekend. scheduled by the probation department. I'm not gonna put you on a probation because I don't think you can do it. So the other option is just give you more jail. And that's not gonna answer it. If a weekend in jail doesn't give you a wake up, I don't know what does. $300 fine, $75 crime victims' rights fee, a $50 state minimum fee, a $100 screening fee, $150 attorney fee, $255 police reimbursement. And I'm gonna order the victim impact panel, which is $32. Let's add all that up. Can't be right. 300 plus 125 plus 100 plus 150 plus 255 plus 32 is 962. I don't believe I have any bond money here. This is all money that goes away from your family. Matt suggested a timeout, and that's what we do. You're gonna need to just give yourself a timeout. I'm gonna give you until the end of the year to pay that $962. You're also gonna attend our victim impact panel. You can do one in Kalamazoo. They've got them there too. You're gonna have a weekend in jail to think about it. What are you doing this weekend?
I could probably most likely just get over it this weekend.
All right, we're gonna begin at 7 o'clock Friday, September 26th. He'll get out at 7 o'clock Sunday. Your driver's license is gonna be restricted, so at least you'll be able to get back and forth to work.
Your Honor, I don't mean to interrupt you, but do you want him to attend St. Joseph County Victim Impact Panel? Or are you okay with him attending?
I'm okay with him attending a Kalamazoo one, if you can find one. Friday, 9/26/25 at 7 PM. Report to jail for a weekend. Hopefully, this will be enough to make you realize how lucky you were they didn't kill yourself. But you're gonna spend this weekend in jail to think about it. You go downstairs with Mr. Huff, and he'll talk about the victim impact panel and the rest of what you need to know regarding the jail. Your fine is due before the end of the year.
Thank you.
Your Honor, you suffer judgment.
I do, let me give it to you. You can have that one too. All right, Mr. George, what does your client want to do? I mean, Mr. Gibson?
I believe it will be, is okay being sentenced today.
All right. Well, let's stay in our drinking driving mode here. Zoe Lynn Parker. Good morning. Mr. Rhodes was filed 1111. You were 1112. I think you both got arrested on the same night, June 11th. Must have been a busy night. You also were charged with operating while intoxicated, and the matter also was reduced to impaired driving. Something occurred to me while I was reading this pre-sentence that maybe what's your mom's name?
Heather. I'm sick right now. I'm sorry. I have a
All
sore
right.
throat, but her name's Heather Bradley.
Yes, that's our Heather Bradley.
I'm aware.
All right, I didn't figure it out as I'm reading it. I thought, holy smokes. I spent a lot of time with your mom
I'm aware.
and I liked her. And she's in a bad relationship and she had a bad alcohol problem. And she was at
Yeah,
my,
she does.
What?
She does, yes, yeah.
Well, she did a good job when she was in my sobriety court until she didn't. It ended up going back up to Judge Stutzman and she did a significant amount of jail time.
Mhm.
But she is a good person who has an alcohol addiction.
Yeah.
She's still struggling with it.
Yeah, yeah.
You don't want to inherit it. And you, guess what? You
No,
did.
definitely not. No.
You did. But apparently Autumn realized that I didn't. But again, we're lackadaisical about our high blood alcohol level. This one's 0.20. She's 26. Mr. George, what would you like me to know?
Thank you, Your Honor. Well, I think the court's kind of started the conversation that I was gonna begin here. And Zoe's in a situation, as the court's seen many times, where there is a family history of substance abuse. And unfortunately, she has been dealing with that herself. This is a situation where I believe mom was involved,
Yeah,
where
that's
she was
the whole
over trying
reason why I
to
was
help
over
give a
this way.
ride, and it was an ugly situation on its own, but obviously it could have been uglier. Zoe does have 2 children that she cares for. She also is employed as a receptionist over in Branch County. And I think based on Zoe's history, not only family history, but some of the history she's been through, I think Autumn, recommending a probation is appropriate. I think Zoe could benefit from services, whether it's education, whether it's specific individual counseling or treatment on top of that, because she is young enough where, as the court knows, if you're dealing with these types of issues, it's not like it's something that goes away. It's how do you effectively deal with that when life struggles or certain situations come about. And I know that she wants to be a better mother for her kids and not put herself or her kids in this type of situation. So the only thing that we would ask is if the court would consider to defer the 1-day jail. Other than that, I think the recommendation is appropriate. We'd ask the court to adopt it. Thank you.
Ms. Canfield?
Your Honor, I agree with the recommendation and think that it should be followed. I do see that with 2 parents who struggle with addiction, obviously that was passed down to Ms. Parker, I believe, probably genetically as well as behaviorally. What's concerning here is it looks like there were several opportunities at which she could have declined additional alcohol and chose to consume more when she was going to be driving again. So we do think that the recommendation for probation is appropriate and a day of jail to be scheduled with 2 others that would remain deferred. She's struggling and she's admitted that she's used controlled substances previously as well until she found out she was pregnant, and we don't want abstention from alcohol turning into someone turning to other substances in place of that. So I do think that supervision is appropriate.
Let me ask a minute. What is Consume? Is it a provisioning center?
Yes, yeah.
All right. So do you also use marijuana?
No, I stopped since I knew I was gonna get on probation.
All right. So had you been using marijuana that night?
No,
Or that day? Had you smoked earlier that day?
no.
There's no indication of it, but when you work at a marijuana store, I presume that you're a marijuana user. That may be a leap of faith.
Occasionally, yes, but not a day. I have kids, so like it wasn't like I don't want my house smelling like it, or
All
so.
All right. Okay, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Ms. Campfield, because I was wondering whether there was an underlying marijuana current here or not.
And that there were other just harsher substances, methamphetamine and cocaine were tried when she was younger. I don't want her turning back to one of those if she's not consuming alcohol any longer as a coping mechanism, especially with the children. So I think that the recommendation is appropriate and ask the court to follow it. This was a very high blood alcohol.
Once, a long time ago, when I was still prosecutor, I did a deep dive into the year's drinking driving cases. And I was surprised at how many first offense had an MIP prior. Ms. Parker's got 3 of those. And so the alcohol problem starts to show itself before they're even old enough to drink it legally. Ms. Kiefer, anything else you'd like me to know?
I think this court is fully aware of her parents, their addiction. She comes by it. Unfortunately, she can't help it, but we need to stop it the best we can.
I'd like to hear that her mother was doing better. I spent a lot of time with her and you weren't here yet. It was Gina, but you were aware of her. Nice lady. She called me once over the weekend on the phone. She called me at home, which really you aren't supposed to do, but I talked to her at some length that day and she was struggling. And she just couldn't get over the hump. I'd not like to see that for you. You got 3 and you're all drinking like it's just everyday thing. The neighbor's drinking, your mom's drinking. It's like, well, and again, this could have been a lot worse. What would you like me to know? Now you're a mom, you got 2 kids. The last guy, I kind of gave him a hard time because he's out doing this stuff instead of home taking care of his kids. What do you want to tell me?
I apologize for that night. I think it could have went very differently, but, yeah.
Where were you going?
So I tried to take her home, but she couldn't go home. And then I went to her neighbor's house. When I left, I don't even know where I was going or why I was driving. But then I drove back. I looked on my little, I have like a GPS thing for my insurance or whatever, and it tells me where I go. And I just drove for 3 minutes, and then I drove back. So I don't know.
Well, I think this is worth a probation. And your mom's not doing you any favors. I'm gonna follow Autumn's recommendation, including the day in jail as a wake up. Again, there's a presumption of no jail. Here, we have very high blood alcohol level. You have 3 prior convictions for minor possessing and consuming alcohol. And if otherwise, the facts are bad. So I'm going to order a 24-month probation, which means you can complete it in 12 months. I'm going to order 4 days jail credit, 1 leaving 3 days to serve. And of the 4 days, 2 are deferred. So the other day is going to be scheduled by the probation department. We're going to do some drug and alcohol testing. At least a couple times a month. It's expensive. Substance abuse counseling and treatment as recommended. I want you also to attend the victim impact panel. Do the children each have the same dad?
No.
Are the dads involved in the kids' lives?
No. So Cyrus's dad, he's not very mentally competent. I feel like he's schizophrenic. So, and then my daughter's dad, he just, no.
Well, you don't want to visit this on your kids. Your mom's mom gave it to her. She gave it to you. Your kids don't deserve to be on this path. $300 fine, $75 crime victims' rights fee, $50 state minimum fee, $100 screening fee, $150 attorney fee, $960 probation oversight fee. Autumn, I don't see a police reimbursement in
I do
here.
not have.
Do you have one, Miss Camfield?
I don't see one in the file numbers.
And again, this is money away from your family, but so is alcohol. The cost of booze is gonna be less than the cost of this probation.
I don't see a request, Your Honor, although I do
All
know
right.
it was a blood sample. So.
$1,667 could be reduced by $480 or more if you complete the probation earlier. That's due in 1 year. You're not to drink any alcohol or use any controlled substance, including marijuana, and that doesn't seem to be an issue for you. I wish I'd been more successful with your mom. You resemble her. I wish better for her and I wish better for you, but you're gonna owe me a day in jail, and I want you to try to work on getting out of this path you're on. Make it better for you and your kids. All right, Ms. Parker, I want you to go with Autumn and she'll get you plugged into what you need to do for this.
Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, Mr. George, let's do Tommy Willis. Good morning, Mr. Willis.
Morning, Your Honor.
This one was done by Danielle, I think. Yep. Here we go again. 0.192 blood alcohol level. This gentleman's in the Army Reserve. And he may also have inherited the alcoholism gene. Mr. Willis, what would you like me to know?
Yeah, it was a real struggle for a long time. I started going to AA meetings, and I have them all logged in this planner here. It's helped me a lot, and I saw the good, the bad, the ugly of experienced individuals as alcoholics, and how they've turned their life around. And it's been a real inspiration, especially from my father. As I told you before, he's in sobriety court. He's actually graduating tomorrow.
Are you coming?
I mean, I can try, but I mean, I'll be at work most likely.
Well, I knew of you. I knew he had 2 kids, 2 sons,
Son and a daughter.
a son and a daughter. Then his girlfriend had 2 kids that he had to get out of the house. And he's done a great job. He's done a great job. He's been a role model to others. Has he taken you to meetings?
Yes, he goes to the meetings here in Centerville. He drives right by my house to go there, so he'll pick me up and take me there. But I've also gone individually to other meetings.
All right, well, that's good to know. Mr. George, what would you like me to know?
From the very first time Tommy called my office, he's obviously taken this really seriously. I think that's indicated in Dan's report. It seems like right at the time that the police arrived, he was upset because he was thinking about, his wife and his daughter. So there was that reflection. But as Tommy's already, mentioned a little bit, there is family history here too. And, we spoke a little bit before, and he hasn't told me this, but, my sense would be that, this was maybe the lifestyle that he had been living for a little while, and a circumstance came up. He drove when he shouldn't have, and it was a big wake-up call for him. The silver lining is all we're dealing with is an impaired driving, but I think it has given him some insight into his family history, how that's affected him, but his also responsibility to address that on his own. And As the court's well aware, Tommy is in the National Guard. He's kept his commanding officer advised of what's going on in this case. I'm not sure what the sanction will look like, but there is going to be some penalty there. So before you as an individual who I think is taking this very seriously because he understands what's at risk for him if he doesn't get this resolved and have the tools that he needs to address this effectively. So I think a probation would be fantastic for him, get him additional education and information. And the AA is something that he had been doing on his own. I hadn't mentioned him to do that. That's something that he's done on his own. And maybe that's a bond that he and his dad can have, sober bond going forward and be supportive for one another. So we ask the court to adopt the recommendation as we believe it's appropriate. Thank you.
Ms. Canfield?
Your Honor, this is another young individual who is addicted and dependent, and the parents have some import in that occurring because they too struggle with addiction. His father is doing better. I've seen him in the sobriety court meetings. I'm thankful for that because, as indicated by Mr. George, perhaps they can be supports for each other. But I also note, according to the report, that his father would often drink with them at home after school or work, which is not encouraging. So hopefully they can both make that change. I think the recommendation is appropriate, but I'm just very alarmed. I think the positives for him are that he's taken it seriously. He has gone to meetings of his own volition and he is employed. But this is the third young person this morning with high blood alcohol and an accident in children. It's a very, very bad curve for this community to be seeing not only himself, but other individuals placed in danger once again from an accident at a very high rate of speed. So, I struggle. I think the recommendation is appropriate for probation. He obviously needs the services and the support. The one thing I struggle with again is I think the other two individuals this morning, we had an upfront jail recommendation, even if only for a day or two. And I think that gives a great perspective to someone. If they violate probation, they start drinking or they start using another substance in its stead, they're going to end up with some additional jail penalty. I like to utilize that as an additional wake-up call, if you will, at the start of a probation term. And I think that would be appropriate here as well, that as opposed to there being any deferred, that there be another day or two served on a weekend, obviously, so it doesn't interfere with his employment. But I think an additional sanction is needed when there was an accident of this nature. It's unfortunate that he went off the road, but also somewhat fortunate in that he didn't strike the utility vehicle and kill somebody in or around it or himself. So I just get very alarmed at these particular factual circumstances.
Well, they are an indication that you can't drive very far with a 0.19. This was in May 16th. And you can't drive very far when you're this drunk. The one guy was going to drive all the way to Sturgis. I mean, from Sturgis to Kalamazoo. I forgot, where were you doing your drinking?
I was drinking at home.
And then where were you going?
I went to Mendon, to the Johnny's there.
To get a can of beer and a vape?
Oh yeah, I got a vape.
And then you were going to turn on and drive back?
Yeah, that was it.
Why'd you go all the way to Mendon?
The power was out. It was that night of that big storm.
Oh yeah, we talked about that.
And,
Yes.
in Centerville, the Johnny's was out of power. So.
All right. What would you like to tell me?
This definitely has been a wake up call. But honestly, I wish it were under better circumstances, but I'm glad this happened because without this, I don't think I would have turned around the way I did. I've been sober for over 4 months now. I'm far more family oriented. There's nothing standing in the way of that now. No addiction or anything could possibly change my mind. about how important my family is to me. I'm really grateful I can be there for them now. AA is a great support group. I expected to go in there and people kind of look at me funny, you know, because of my age, thinking, hey, I've spilled more beer than you drank in your lifetime. But
There
they
is
were very
that.
supportive and they were happy to see.
How
in
old are
person.
you?
I'm 23 right now.
We have trouble getting through to 23-year-olds. You seem to get it. It's hard. Now, your dad, as Ms. Canfield said, I said, he's sick and tired of being sick and tired. He's got lots of bumps on his head and he's got life experience, and I hope he's done with it. When you're 23, you don't have enough bumps on your head. Plus, it's fun. It's fun to go out with your friends, and it's fun but it isn't fun when it stops being fun. Each one of these cases, because the people were intoxicated, they made bad decisions. If you were a little bit drunk, it's like, boy, I probably shouldn't drive down there. When you're 2.5 times the limit, it's like, I can drive. I need a smoke. And this is what happens. There was a woman there. There was a woman that they never identified. Do you know who that person was?
On the scene?
Yes.
Yes, my sister-in-law. I believe she was gonna try to come pick me up, but I stayed with my vehicle because I was ready to.
All right, so
accept
you called
responsibility.
somebody to come get you?
I called my wife and she sent her sister.
I bet your wife was happy. Okay, so she wasn't in the car with you.
No, she arrived in her own vehicle to pick me up, but I stayed with my vehicle. I knew what I had done and I was ready to accept responsibility. I knew at that moment that nothing was going to stop me from doing it again if I didn't speak to the sheriff that came and picked me up. And
Come pick me up, I've landed. Yeah, all these were bad. This is 40 yards into a cornfield. And these all happened within the same month and all got set for sentence in the same day. There are some estimates on how many drunk driving cases do not get arrested. They make it home. And manage not to hit anybody on the way. And the number's astronomical. There are also some studies about how many times people actually drove drunk before they actually got arrested for drunk driving. Those are frightening too. But there's literally hundreds and hundreds of other drunk drivers that don't get arrested. On any given night, there may be multiple people out. Throw marijuana in the mix and people are lawfully using marijuana. There's no indication of that here. But we've all got blasé about that too. You regularly and continually smoke marijuana and also drink, and that's like, Anyway, as I indicated, you had bad judgment because you were drunk. You're in the National Guard. You got that going for you. There's going to be a consequence. You've also got kids that you should be home with. And this is also going to be money away from your family. They left you in jail for a couple days before they bonded you out. So you did 2 days up front. You were polite and cooperative with the officers, but you were drunk. And we discovered who the mystery woman was. I'm going to follow Daniel's recommendation. If there is going to be any jail time, it'll be because you don't comply with the terms of the probation. I won't hang any more over your head, but I'm going to order 2 days, credit 2 days, 12-month probation. Could be discharged at the end of 6. You're going to go to the victim impact panel. I'm not going to order highway safety. Substance account abuse treatment, AA. No drugs and no alcohol and test as directed, including no marijuana. I don't think marijuana is an issue.
Can't do it in the reserves, Your Honor, so I have no problem with that.
Very good. Well, this is expensive. It's a $300 fine, $75 crime victims' rights fee, a $50 state minimum fee, $100 screening fee, $150 attorney fee, $480 probation oversight fee, police reimbursement of $255, and the victim impact panel is $32. But you will be able to keep your license. Do you drive vehicles in the military?
Oh, yes, Your Honor, I haven't offered to drive a vehicle since the
Well, this
incident.
would allow you to do that, but $325 in state costs, $100 screening fee, $150 attorney fee, $480 probation oversight fee, $255 police reimbursement, plus $32. That's expensive, $1,442. If you complete the probation early, it could save you at least $240. I've got some hope here. I would be greatly impressed if you decide to be sick and tired of being sick and tired at 23 instead of waiting 40 more years like your dad did. Again, as in all of our people, they're lucky they didn't kill somebody. These were all impaired, which I don't really have a big problem with. The impaired allows people to keep their license and get back and forth to work. The rules were different when I was young. I'd like you to take this form downstairs to the probation department. Any of the violations could result in additional jail time, but if you successfully do this probation, you could be discharged at the end of 6 months. Mr. Willis, 2 of my cases today were connected to parents I'd been working with. And as I told Ms. Parker, let's hope you can't pass this on to the next generation of your kids. So you go down to the probation department, they'll get you plugged in is what you need to do.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, Miss McKay. I talked to the sheriff at the fair. He had a booth, and he's the kind of sheriff that has a booth at the fair and will sit there and people will walk by and talk to him about things that are on their mind. But I just call him up if I had something on my mind. But anyway, he's doing a great job as our sheriff, and he's accessible and easy to talk to. He talked about how many fatal accidents we've had this year. Our law enforcement citation numbers are way up. Much more tickets have been written, much more tickets have been authorized by the prosecutor, a lot of drunk driving arrests. And in the first 6 months of the year, we had 14 fatal accidents through June. Last year altogether, we had 8. Between June and now, we've had about 8 more. So we probably had 20 fatal accidents so far, 20 deaths. Some accidents resulted in more than 1 death. And some of that's a factor of people driving around with very high blood alcohol levels. So let's change our theme here. This one does not have to do with alcohol and drinking and driving. It may have to do with alcohol, but it doesn't have to do with drinking and driving. This is domestic violence. It started as assault with a dangerous weapon and was reduced to domestic violence second offense. The defendant is Jeanie McKay. She's here with her lawyer, Mr. Paul Gibson. I'd hope to get some input from the complaining witness in this case. I let Miss McKay out at the time of her plea and set the matter for sentencing. She didn't get in any more trouble, apparently. I'd hope to hear a little bit about maybe mental health counseling and get some input from the complainant. Mr. Bates apparently doesn't want to talk to us or provide any additional information. Mr. Gibson, what would you like me to know?
It's my understanding that the defendant and the victim are no longer together, and that, you know, it sounds like it was a mutual relationship where there was domestic violence allegations, I guess, that she had made against him. In this incident, she herself was, I guess, suffered a laceration to her leg. Apparently, after she hit him, he pushed her to the ground, apparently. So this was a bad incident all the way around. The defendant went straight to jail. It's my understanding that she served 14 days. The victim is not interested, I guess, in giving forth any input. He didn't ask for any services. He asked that they not contact him. So I'm not exactly sure if I'm thinking that if this court, if the 14-day jail sentence would not be enough of a penalty in this case, I would ask the court to consider probation. The defendant has a mental health history.
Actually, that's incorrect. I have a history of medical fraud. Yeah, big difference. Every time I tried to report crime, I ended up in the mental hospital.
Okay.
Not really my issue, but yeah, big problem, as a matter of fact. And so I've had issues with reporting crime since. There was no mutual relationship. This man had me trapped for 2 years. He lost me my jobs by stalking me outside my work. I was moving out of state when I ended up meeting him. And so, I mean, I feel like it's entrapment, generally speaking. I mean, and to be on probation in this state for another 2 years after I planned on moving years ago when he lost me my jobs, I couldn't get out of the state.
Do you plan to move now?
I would love to move. Yeah. I mean, I don't want to live somewhere
Well, where do you live now?
I'm on Sandy Drive right now.
All right, with who?
I don't know what to do.
Well,
This
who
man
lives there?
He has destroyed it. It's an old friend, but he committed suicide or whatever. I don't even know.
The friend, so you're living, who owns your house?
It's Brad Swoveland.
Brad,
Swoveland.
and he's deceased? All right, so you're in the house, but he's not there. Does anybody else live there?
Mm-mm.
Do you pay any rent?
Mm-mm.
They're probably gonna move to evict you. Well, Mr. Bates has got his own problems, and one of the problems had been methamphetamine. There's a pending bench warrant for his arrest right now, which may have to do with why he doesn't want to have anything to do with this.
I actually even contacted the DACES shelter or the, sexual abuse shelters and domestic shelters prior to this, like 6 months earlier, and they wouldn't let me in. They said I didn't qualify. So it's like, been honest to me why I can qualify for a domestic assault charge when I couldn't get into a shelter when I needed the help. You know what I mean?
I guess I don't have an answer to that, but so what's your plan? You can't stay in this place not paying rent. Do you have relatives or friends in another state?
I was planning on just moving out of the state because if I get put in mental hospitals when I'm trying to report crime, I don't feel like it's a safe place for me.
Well, there was the earlier incident in Three Rivers. This is a DV second. There was an earlier one.
That was the Jim Littlefield.
Yes, so that was also, there's a mental health.
It was actually, no, there wasn't anything in Three Rivers.
I thought it was over on like 7th Street or something.
Now that man is out of his mind. He said he was going to sell me, and I obviously protested. And when I told him I wasn't crazy because they were trafficking girls, he kicked me out of the house because he feels guilty, I suppose.
Well, that's a good house to get out of. Ms. Camfield, any additional input?
I'm concerned about, when I look at Mr. Bates's history, I see in addition to methamphetamine and multiple controlled substance convictions, a conviction for violence as well. I think that probably
Can I
if
say
she
one
wants
more
to
thing?
leave the state, I don't know that probation would be helpful. If she's reporting that there's been violence and sexual assaults against her that haven't been dealt with, that's concerning. And it's not very often that we see it, but we do see what we call reactive abuse occurring towards a perpetrator who has been longstanding abusing someone where the victim finally reacts.
Yes.
I presume that may have been the case here, according to what Ms. McKay is saying. I think possibly a short jail term or credit for time already served would be appropriate, and no probation, and let her move out of the state to a place where she feels safe.
Those are my thoughts. I know Mr. Bates. He's bound over to circuit court on a methamphetamine charge right now. He's got a pending bench warrant in my court, and there's some assaultive history, and it's hard to tell what was what. They made a choice to take her to jail. She was there for 14 days. She got no real ties here, and she's living in a odd circumstance. When did Mr. Swovlin die?
Like last November?
So you've been in there since November without paying any rent?
No, I haven't been there that long, but I don't know.
All right, well, I'm gonna give you 14 days jail credit, 14 days. Zero fine, $125 in costs. And I'm gonna give you until November 15th to pay that. You're free to leave the state. There's nothing here for you but heartache. Do you have any income? Do you get disability or anything?
I was working, but he exhibited like stalking-like behavior outside of my work, and I got
Where
fired.
did you work?
At the Saginaw Golf Course. I was gonna work as
Oh,
the
yeah, you told me that.
grounds crew and bartender, and then I got fired for the police vehicle.
All right, give that to her. You're free to go do what you want,
Thank you.
but I would not recommend you have any contact with that gentleman.
Thank you.
But there's a mental health issue that underlies this, and I think unless you start to get some way to address that, you're gonna be right back in it. But I couldn't tell anything about drugs or alcohol regarding this. There's nothing in the report. They didn't show any blood alcohol on your booking sheet. I know that methamphetamine is the underlying theme with Mr. Bates. I don't know what we're dealing with, but 14 days, credit 14 days, you're free to go.
Thank you.
All right, that finishes our morning. We did all 5 sentences with 2 minutes to spare. Thank you, Ms. Canfield.
You're welcome, Ron. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. All right, and good morning, sir. I see you're here. If you'd be so kind as to come forward and take a seat. And sir, are you Matthew Flitch?
Yes, sir.
All right. Give me just a moment to review the paperwork here. And I'd want to double check, is Kimberly Blakely here? Here she is online. All right, Ms. Blakely, if you can hear me, if you can turn your camera on and unmute yourself. I can see you, but you're still muted.
Yeah. Is that
There
better?
we go.
Okay.
I can hear you indeed. Give me just a moment. Sir, I'm going to start with you. If you'd be so kind as to raise your right hand, I'm going to swear you in. Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you provide at today's hearing will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, thank you. And Ms. Blakely, would you be so kind as to raise your right hand?
Yep.
Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you provided today's hearing will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, excellent. All right, Mr. Floich, this is your matter. I'll start with you. I've had a chance to review the motion to terminate this matter. And I've had a chance to review the paperwork. Both parties are here, so we can proceed pretty easily. But I want to know, what would you like me to consider in this matter?
I felt like I was being coerced by people that I was with at the time to get this protection order because of, how she was originally in some of her voicemails, text messages, and phone calls. But at the same time, I think she was just trying to protect me from other people. And fortunately, I followed the wrong people when I got the order. And then when the hospital called me, asking me what her wishes would be on August 18th, I said, I believe that she wants to live. So it's like, I really wanted to be there for her, be down there during that time, but I was unable to go because of this.
I understand. All right. Ms. Blakely, do you have any objection to the termination of this order?
I do not know.
All right. If that's the case, parties are in agreement. I see no reason, based off of what you've told me, sir, and what I've read on this matter, that this shouldn't be terminated. As such, I will terminate that. Do we have any paperwork you need me to fill out? Fantastic. I'll get that signed for you folks in just a moment. We'll get you a copy.
Awesome. Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right, thank you.
All right, Ms. Blakely, as you are online, I'm going to find that you are here. I don't believe that any additional service beyond simply saying that you are here is necessary. If you need a copy of this, you are able to get this online. If Mr. Floich, I want to double check. Were there any other parties named as part of this order? Okay, excellent. All right, if that's the case, no additional service on other parties is required. Congratulations, sir. And Ms. Blakely, if you need a copy, that you can get that off the court website. Call the court if you have any questions.
Okay, thank you.
Congratulations, you too. Yep, I wish you both luck. Take care.
Thank you. You too.
And this will conclude cause number 2500139. All right, next we will call the Neielson Alger matter. This is cause number 2500309. Sir, if you'd be so kind just to take a seat. All right, and sir, may I have your name?
Jeanie, Alger.
Thank you, Mr. Alger. And am I saying that correctly?
Alger.
Alger, thank you, sir. All right, and this is the matter with Mr. Baum and Mr. Neielson, is that correct? All right.
Your Honor, if I may?
Yes, sir.
This is Chris Baum for the record. I don't know if the court has had an opportunity to review what I sent in. It was yesterday. I got retained last week on this matter. I was rushing to get materials prepared. We did declarations and we emailed them to the court yesterday because we swore them out on Sunday. But I don't know if the court's had an opportunity to review those.
All right, give me just a moment, counsel.
Thank you. And I'm going to step over and make sure my client's on video because I can't quite tell.
All right. And Mr. Baum, if you can hear me, we have not had a chance to enter those in. I've not had a chance to review those. I was hoping they were in Laserfish, but they seem to still be processing.
Yeah, if I may, Your Honor.
Absolutely.
So I would like the court to obviously have an opportunity to review what we filed for consideration in this case. I think that'll also probably speed up the hearing. So because I was retained so late, I just wasn't able to get to it sooner. I'm asking the court to continue this hearing so the court can have an opportunity to review the record in full. We don't need much of a continuous. We could do it next week if the court's willing.
Mr. Alger, I know that this is a frustrating process, but Mr. Baum is right. The court does need an opportunity to fully review their submissions. Are you able to hear this week out?
Yeah.
Are you able to do this again in 1 week if we were to continue this 1 week?
Yes. Also, have you Dude, what
I have had a chance to review everything you've submitted. The only thing, unless you submitted it over the weekend, I've had a chance to review the other records of this matter. Sir, you're certainly welcome to. I can't tell you that you need one or not, but it never harms anyone to have an attorney at least review their records. That said, you're certainly welcome to represent yourself. Plenty of people represent themselves pro se in these matters just fine. But it's certainly a consideration. If you'd like more time to consider that and speak with an attorney, I'm happy to grant additional time beyond 1 week.
That's gonna be fine.
1 week should be fine? Okay. Can we move this back 1 week?
It is actually just notice of hearing, so I can fill that out.
Oh, perfect.
It's 9/29.
The 29th? Perfect.
Would that be at 9 o'clock, Your Honor?
Yes, Mr. Bowden.
Thank you.
Perfect. And if either of you need a copy of that paperwork, it'll be in the computer in the afternoon, and we'll make sure you walk out of here with a copy, Mr. Alger. Yes. All right. No, that's just fine. The court process is slow. I understand that this may be frustrating, but the court appreciates your patience and understanding. And one way or another, it seems like this is likely to be resolved next week.
Okay, thank you.
Yep. And if you need additional time because you decide to hire an attorney, tell them to let the court know, because we can talk about additional scheduling if they need additional time for more review.
Okay.
All right. You take care, sir.
All right. Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome. We'll reset this. All right. We'll now move on to Michelle Treese Ping and Kimberly Crossland. I see Ms. Ping is online.
Am I not?
Oh, there we are. You've been fantastic. Is Kimberly Crossland present?
I don't think so, because I have not been
Bear with
able
me
to
then.
serve her.
I'm double checking in the courtroom as well.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I'm not seeing anyone responding. If Ms. Kimberly Crossland is currently online, if you can unmute yourself and identify yourself. All right. I'm not hearing any response. I see no one connected who appears to be attempting to unmute or turn on their camera.
What was that?
I'm good to just dismiss. I don't need to reset, right?
Yes.
All right. Ms. Treese Ping, as you're the respondent in this matter, and I don't see that you have filed a counter petition.
What?
You have one scheduled for next week? All right. Ms. Treese Ping, I want you to be aware that I am dismissing Ms. Kimberly Crossland's petition for a protection order against you. So that is just dismissed. But it seems like you have a petition scheduled for next week. I warn I don't have the power to pull that forward here today. So simply stated, the next hearing is that you have scheduled is still going to go forward as expected.
All right, thank you.
Yep. So I will I'll fill this out, have this, the protection order request against you dismissed, and we'll see you at your next hearing.
Okay, and my next hearing will be emailed to me?
It is 9/29.
All right, it's scheduled for 29th at 9 a.m.
9/29 at 9 a.m. All right.
Yep. 7 days from now. I wish you luck at that hearing and have a good day, ma'am.
Thank you.
And if you need a
can I
copy
ask-
of this dismissed order, it will be available online likely this afternoon. They'll need a little bit of time to fill that out and or scan that in.
Okay, I just have one question. Do you mind?
Not at all, ma'am.
So I've been having a hard time getting her served. People are not answering the door, is what my server is saying.
Well, ma'am, I understand that that can be frustrating and difficult. However, ultimately, I really can't help you much more beyond saying that that's a frustration, and I hope your process server can navigate that process.
Okay, sounds great.
If it reaches the point where you're not able to serve them and you are worried about proof of service and time for notice, you are welcome to request that hearing be pushed back for additional time for service at that hearing. But otherwise, beyond that, there's not a lot I can do, ma'am. I just wish you luck.
Okay, yeah, it's been three attempts now, and So I will hopefully let you know next week.
I wish you luck.
Thank you, Your Honor. Have a great week.
You take care.
Thank you. Take care also.
Bye. All right. Picture order, bear with me. Bear with me, we will get to that in just a moment. I just want to make sure I've got this sufficiently filled out so that I can get back to that later.
Yeah, that's
perfect. All right. And you said who's joining? I'm sorry. I see. All right, we'll return to that matter later. All right. Next, we'll call the Hannah and Morton matter. Good morning, sir. This is cause number 250000311. And sir, if it's easier, I see you've got a mobility device. If it's easier to stay there or stand, whatever is most comfortable for you, sir.
Here you are.
All right. Just whatever's most comfortable for you. Thank you, sir. I want to double check, is Anthony Morton currently here?
No.
I'm not seeing him in the courtroom. I'm not seeing anyone in my list of names. Bear with me just a moment, sir. Anthony Morton, if you are present, please identify yourself, turn on your camera, and unmute yourself. All right, I'm hearing no response. And sir, are you Richard Hanna?
Yes.
All right, sir. I'm not going to swear you in because Mr. Morton is not here. I see that there was proper service in this matter, and based off of the petition and proper service, I find that there is good cause to grant your petition. So give me just a couple of minutes to get this filled out. You're again welcome to stand, but if sitting is more comfortable, you're welcome to do that as well. I'm going to get this filled out, and you're going to leave here with a signed copy of this motion.
You want me to sit back there?
Whatever's most comfortable for you, sir.
Like close.
But I do find that there is good cause to grant this protection order for a domestic violence.
I do have one question. Currently, his girlfriend, which is my wife's granddaughter, and his two kids are living at my house. And I have seen no attempt for any support from him or anything.
Unfortunately, sir, in
Would that be a
district,
civil matter?
that would be a matter for family court most likely. I don't have the ability to, in district court, I do not have any power over child support or other similar
No,
matters.
I was just wondering if, where does his family court go that I talked to?
Family court would be the most likely candidate, but I can't give legal advice, sir, as frustrating as that is. My best suggestion would be simply to speak with an attorney that specializes in these matters. But my guess would be a family law attorney would be the best place to start there. And beyond that, likely family court.
Thank you, sir.
Absolutely. Superior Court may also hear that if it is getting into the criminal side of things, but that's the best I can tell you. And sir, I just want to double check. You're the step parent of the party, correct?
No, I'm no relation to it at all.
Okay. They lived in the house. I see that.
My wife's granddaughter, his girlfriend.
Got it. Thank you.
The children are living with me. There's no problem with the children. They haven't enrolled a 9-year-old in school yet.
Well, I understand that's frustrating, sir. All right. I find that there is good cause to issue this order. The restrained person will be expected to create or cause no harm to you or the protected persons. Have no contact with the protected persons. Excuse me. Issue no stalking behavior, including share of the protected persons. which is not to harass, follow, monitor, keep under physical or electronic surveillance, cyber harass, or use phone, video, audio, or other electronic means to record, photograph, or track locations or communications, including digital wire electronic communications of the protected party. They are to stay away from the protected person, as well as their premises, vehicle, and
Is my wife protected on this too?
she will be.
Okay, thank you.
They're to vacate any shared residence. They're not to share any intimate images.
Now, he left an old truck on my property. Is he required to move that?
So that's kind of beyond the scope of this. You'll have to, that's a question for the sheriff's office. All right. I am not going to issue a requirement of a mental health evaluation or treatment that goes beyond the scope of this. They are to not to have any contact with you. But I'm not going, I see that there's requests here for restrict abusive litigation. I don't see that the other party has done anything there that I'm particularly worried about. There's, I believe that there is no restrictive litigation or abusive litigation going on here. All right. And it is required that this notice be served on the other party. As such, I'm going to issue an order that law enforcement assist with that. And require that the Thurston County Sheriff's Office assist in that matter. I'm doing this in open court at 9:34 a.m. All right. And this matter is going to be, or this protection order is going to be in effect for 1 year, sir. I understand that you've requested more, but I don't have the ability to extend that based off of what's currently in here. Here's a copy of that. Let me know if we need to update any of that. Let me know if there's any errors in there I need to change, but I appreciate that. Madam Clerk's going to give a quick review of that to make sure I've checked every box and signed every section, and then we will make sure that you get a copy of this when you leave. And as I said, law enforcement is ordered to assist you.
Copy up out there?
We'll hand you a printed copy.
Realize you have other cases pending.
Yes, sir. Unfortunately, it's just sort of the nature of this court that it can take a little while to get through some of this paperwork when I grant petitions, but there is good cause to issue that one, and so it will be done as such. All right, just want to make sure that no one interprets that to be in effect. All right, here you are, sir.
Thank you.
You as well, sir. All right. Next, I'll call the matter of Sean Trepier and Jeremy Sharp. Good afternoon, or good morning, sir.
Good morning, sir, Your Honor.
All right, give me just a moment to pull up this file. I'll note this is cause number 2500312.
We had the sheriff's office serve him, but they may not have served him yet.
Got it. All right, thank you, sir. Bear with me just a moment. Sir, I do want to double check. Mr. Jeremy Sharp, if you are currently connected, if you could unmute yourself and identify yourself. I don't see anyone in the courtroom currently. All right, I'm seeing no response. All right, and is it Mr. Trepier?
Yes, sir.
All right. Am I saying that correctly, sir?
Technically, yes.
How would you like me to refer to you?
Anyway, it's fine. Trepier. It's good.
Okay. Then, Mr. Trepier, unfortunately, as the other party is not here and I don't have proof of service, I see that law enforcement has been brought in to offer or to make sure that service is affected, but that it simply has not taken place yet. I understand that's very frustrating. I don't have proof of service until they file that. It looks like I see that there's other information that has been filed. I understand that this is a frustrating process, sir, but I'm going to have to request that service happen in this matter. I can set this out 2 weeks to give the law enforcement agency more time to get that paperwork filed. Is that something you'd like me to do?
Yeah, that's fine. I just, yeah, it's okay. I know they're busy and, stuff going on, and I just want to get this guy to leave me alone.
I understand that, sir. My alternative is simply to dismiss the matter, and that's clearly not something that either of us wish to do unless you tell me otherwise. So at this time, I can't proceed with the hearing without proof of service once law enforcement gets that in, or if you're able to arrange an alternative means of service and can file proof of that, or if they appear in court, then we can proceed. But as it stands, I have to set this out 2 weeks. Are you available in 2 weeks, or on what would that be? On October 6th in the morning?
Yeah, that's fine.
Yes, sir. We'll set. All right, we'll make sure that we'll get you on the calendar for the 6th at 9 a.m. We'll email you a copy of the notice of new hearing on that, sir.
Okay, thank you very much.
You're welcome, sir. Otherwise, you're free to go. I wish you luck in this. I know this can be a frustrating process. I wish you the best.
Okay, thank you, sir.
You take care. All right, and then, and that's which matter?
Number 2 on the calendar.
Okay, thank you. All right. While we wait on them, then I will call the Rachel Williams and Vincent David matter. Ms. Williams, if you're on the line, if you can turn your camera on mute. Good afternoon, or good morning, ma'am.
Hi, sorry about that. I was in the wrong courtroom 3.
These things happen. All right, this is cause number 2500307. And if Mr. Vincent David is present, if you could turn on your camera and identify yourself and unmute yourself. All right, I'm hearing no response. So I will note that this matter has proof of service. So bear with me. Petition. All right. Ms. Williams, I'm not going to swear you in or make you tell me your side of things. Based off of the fact that you are here, the party had service and opportunity to appear and chose not to. They had proper notice as affected by the sheriff's office on, it looks like, the 10th. I'm going to grant this anti-harassment order. It will be good for 1 year. Give me a moment to fill this out. I might have a question or two. All right. And I see that there is a minor child.
Yes, that's my son. Really, the only reason that I included him is because Mr. Vincent was making threats about burning my house down and having people burn my house down, and I have a child that lives in my home.
Yep, I'm happy to grant that. I read through that and I understand that this must be incredibly frustrating and difficult. So I am, of course, granting that, and I will extend your child as well. I find that the restrained party did have personal service of this and actual notice of this hearing. They did not appear, so I'm granting that there. Bear with me as I go down my list. There's a fair amount of checkboxes I need to make sure I get correct.
Okay.
I do find that the restrained party has subjected the protected person to unlawful harassment. I'm going to note that there was threat of violence, including malicious and intentional threat. So no fee is going to be associated with this filing. The court does have jurisdiction over the parties and the subject matter, including the minor. I do find that there was credible threat based off of what you included in your petition. Now I'm going to order that the following restraints are put in place. The party shall not cause you no harm, as well as the no harm to the minors. They shall have no contact with you, the protected person, you, the protected person, or your children. They shall have no stalking behavior, which is to include they are not to harass, follow, monitor, keep under physical or electronic surveillance, cyber harass, or use phone, video, audio, or other electronic means to record, photograph, or track the locations, communications, including digital wire or electronic communication of you or your child. They're to stay away from you. You're no longer working at that facility? Do I have that correct?
No, I left.
Okay.
Yeah.
Then I'm going to say that they may not be within 1,000 feet of you, your vehicle, your workplace, your school or the student school, your residence, or the residence, daycare or school of the minor or of your child. I'm going to mark this to keep your address confidential on this paperwork so that they don't have to see that.
Thank you.
They are not to possess or distribute any intimate images of you. I don't believe they have any, but I'm just going to mark that in case. There are no transfer of assets, finances, or personal belongings I need to worry about. I am going to. All right, there are no firearms in this matter. There's no issue of custody I need to worry about. There are no pets I need to worry about custody of. All right. I'm going to require that law enforcement. Never mind, that's not the relevant section. So I am going to require that law enforcement where the restrained person lives, and they're in Thurston County as well. Do I have that correct?
Yes.
All right. I'm going to require that the sheriff's office assist you in serving this person, so keep you so that you don't have to arrange for that.
Thank you.
All right, there's no other parties that need service on this. I'm not going to issue any review hearing. So as ordered September 22nd, 2025, at 9:47 a.m. This matter is now signed and official. All right. Ma'am, I wish you luck in moving forward. I hope
Thank
this helps alleviate some of the frustrations and fears that I'm sure follow on this matter. And I wish you luck in your future, ma'am.
Thank you so much. Have a great day.
You take care.
Thanks.
All right. And finally, we have the Yell Curtis matter. This is number 250000285. Ms. Yell, I appreciate your patience. I know you've been sitting here for a while. The other party was in another courtroom and we had to transfer them over, which can sometimes be a slow process. And good morning as well to Ms. Rose Curtis. Thank you both for being here today. Now, I see that both parties are here, so we can proceed. I'm going to ask first, I'm going to swear parties in. Ms. Yell, would you be so kind as to raise your right hand? Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you provide at today's hearing will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? And Ms. Yell, I can't hear
I
you.
do.
There we go. Perfect. All right, Ms. Curtis,
Yeah.
can you raise your right hand?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you provide at today's hearing will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. Excellent. You can put your hand down. I'll consider you both sworn in and speaking under oath, and thus affected by the expectations of honesty. All right. I've had a chance to review this. I'll start with Ms. Yell. You are the petitioner in this matter. What would you like me to know about this?
That it's had a severe impact on my mental and emotional state, and I feel for my safety in being in my own home. And I was just going to ask, Your Honor, if I could have some more additional time to submit my medical records and possibly ask for a continuance on this matter, because I have other supporting evidence that I wanted to to the case.
All right. Ms. Curtis, do you have any objection to a continuance in this matter, simply setting it over?
Yeah, actually I do. I'm taking time out of my work. I work 2 jobs. I'm having to take time out just to have this done. I wasn't even served correctly. I wasn't even served at all. My daughter answered the door and then she told the lady that she wasn't me. Closed the door, the lady dropped the paperwork. This is on the 17th. Dropped the paperwork on my porch, I guess. I don't have time to deal with any of this nonsense. Like, I don't know if you guys, I turned in paperwork or emailed all my paperwork, whatever, to the email address. I really.
All right. Ma'am, I'll start off by saying I understand that you did not have proper service in this matter. However, you did appear today. So I know that you were aware of this hearing. That's about all I do to service. As to emails, there's quite a bit in this file. I've had a chance to review some of it, but today's hearing it's reasonable to well, I'm going to go back and say this. It's reasonable to refuse to object to a continuance in this matter. Ms. Yell, I need some additional information. You scheduled this hearing. You've had an opportunity to file paperwork. It appears that the other party is here and is taking time out. Is there a reason that we can't, that you need to submit medical evidence in this matter?
Yeah, I was going to get some medical from CMAR from my counseling to show that I have had to go to continuing counseling over this matter for PTSD, and that I do feel afraid and worry all the time, Your Honor. And I really feel confused on a daily basis. I can't concentrate. And I just feel afraid because the respondent keeps sending her boyfriend over to my house. And over the weekend, there was numerous occasions where she had sent her boyfriend over to my boyfriend's house. And then he came over here and told me that the respondent was
I'm going to stop you there.
him, and that if
Ma'am, I'm just going to cut you off there.
Okay. All right. All right.
I'm asking, none of the claims that you have entered as part of this involve an assault. Is there any reason that I need to be aware of medical things? I understand that you're frustrated, that you may be dealing with frustrations, you may be dealing with some degree of anxiety, but I don't see anything in here that is relevant to whether or not this took place. So the question of medical information is, I need to know, is there a medical reason that you cannot continue this hearing, or have you been assaulted as part of this process?
Oh, no, I haven't been assaulted. No.
Okay.
I would just like to have some continuance so I could submit.
All right.
That's
Well,
okay with
ma'am,
you.
I hear your request for continuance, and I'm going to deny it. You've had an opportunity to bring your case. The other party is here. We're moving forward today. So, ma'am, I need you to tell me, I've had a chance to review the file, but in your own words, what is taking place here?
I feel like the respondent has been keeping me under observation in my home, and this dates back to 2023. And I've had continuous problems with her, and I've done nothing to her to make her feel a certain way. I'm very polite and respectful. I but she's been making me feel afraid in my home. She's been harassing me and stealing my internet and my Wi-Fi. And I've had to, I might have another video.
All right, someone has joined in under the
I'm sorry about that.
Zoom
I don't know why my video went.
Sir, are you?
Oh, okay.
You're not. You don't appear to be a party in this matter. But may I have your name?
Dantrell Fogel.
All right.
I can't get my video.
Are you
thing
here for the civil protection order calendar, sir?
No, sir. I had court. I didn't know which link to use.
All right. I think you're in the wrong courtroom. Can I have your full name again one more time?
All right. Dantrell Fogel.
All right.
All right.
I can't get my video up.
Mr. Fogel, we'll send you a link in the chat, but you're supposed to be in courtroom 2.
Okay, thank you.
Absolutely. All right. Ms. Yell, please continue. I see that your video is turned off, but you're welcome to continue. Is there anything else you'd like me to consider?
Yeah. Yeah, Your Honor, basically the respondent has been hacking into my Wi-Fi and then turning off my computer somehow by remote access. And I don't know how the hacking's done, but this has been a continuous thing since 2023. And I've had to do everything to secure my network and my passwords. And it's just been a complete nightmare for me to keep continuously to do this. It costs me money. I've already installed 3 cameras around my home. I doubly lock my doors because the respondent sends her boyfriend over to my house so many times that I feel afraid on a daily basis. I'm so confused. I can't think straight. Also, Your Honor, the respondent has been calling names every day. She said she hates me. Her words were, "I hate that effing bitch." And then she tells me to F you every day. And then I've provided documentation with that in one of my declarations. I have a timeline of that I submitted of each time that she's called names. And this dates back to 2020, all the year of 2023, and the whole year of 2000, and this year. So this has been going on for some time. And I don't know if you did get that declaration statement.
I've had a chance to review everything
I
you've
can go over
submitted
the
in this
dates and
matter.
times if you'd like, of every time. Oh, okay.
I've had a chance to review
All
what
right.
you've submitted. Is there
Okay,
anything
and
else you'd
then,
like me to consider, ma'am?
basically, I guess just the incident over the weekend. That would be about it. That whatever happened over the weekend here.
All right, what do you want me to know about?
Well, the respondent, she basically has been intimidating me and using coercive control to make me feel afraid. And I talked to one of the neighbors, and he told me that if I follow through with this restraining order, there can be dire consequences. Then when I came home, my boyfriend told me that the respondent and her boyfriend been harassing him to sign something, and that if he didn't, then she would get a lawyer. And then on Sunday, I heard a knock on the door, and then the respondent's boyfriend was over there, not at the door, and I didn't answer the door. I just I didn't even open the door. I just didn't answer the door. And then when I looked at my video evidence over the weekend, I seen that the respondent is right in front of my camera, right in view, and then taking a picture of my house. And that's what happened over the weekend. Now that's all I can say, Your Honor. Thank you. I'm really nervous, and it's hard for me to explain myself and speak up for myself.
All right. Ms. Curtis.
So I have a really hard time explaining myself. I have anxiety.
All right, thank you, Ms. Yell. Ms. Curtis, I'm going to turn to you. What would you like me to know about this matter?
I don't even know where to start. So, I've not talked to this lady. The last time I talked to her was when she came over to my house, I think January, in the middle of the night, screaming at me and my boyfriend about how we're stalking her or something. That was the last time I ever even said anything, any words to her at all. I don't even talk to her. I purposely avoid her and don't even look at her house when I go outside for this purpose right here, because I know she does this stuff when, I don't know, manic episode, whatever it is. I have cameras around my house, 24/7 surveillance for this reason specifically. And I know she has cameras too. So thank God she has cameras, because any of the accusations she's made should be on camera, right? Like there would be some evidence of them. There's nothing. I don't even talk to her. I don't have time for this. I work 2 jobs. I'm hardly ever home, and I'm gonna move now because of this situation. This is causing me a lot of grief and unnecessary. It's just I don't have any reason to steal her Wi-Fi. I have my own Wi-Fi. That's ridiculous. I don't know I've never said a word to her ever purposely. I don't even look at her. I don't even really know what else to say. I don't have time for this. It's been going on, and it's an ongoing thing with her for quite a while now. And the accusations she makes about I put something in her boyfriend's drink and asked him for anything. I've never been late on my rent one time ever in life. I don't have any complaints with my landlord or any other neighbors. And she thought that me and her boyfriend had some sort of weird affair thing shortly after I moved in, and that's what spiked this whole thing. That her boyfriend, because like he lives on this side, she lives on this side. Her boyfriend told my boyfriend that she thought we were sleeping together, some crazy, and that's what started the whole ordeal.
Got it.
Okay.
All right. Thank you, Ms. Curtis. I think I understand what's going on here. Based off of the statements of both parties and the files in the record, I'm going to deny this request for a protection order. I don't believe that there is sufficient evidentiary basis to do so, and based off of the testimony of both parties, I don't believe that there is reason to issue a protection order. So I'm going to deny this order. That will conclude this hearing. If either of you need a copy of this paperwork, it will be available through the court website. Call the court if you have any questions. That will conclude today's hearing. Otherwise, I have no appearances from any other parties on my hearing calendar. So this will conclude Thurston County District Court. If you're watching at home, have a good day.